Hello, everybody. This is Max Peace, and welcome to Chainers. Today, we're going to be diving into the newest event. Yeah, it's a special event. We've had similar events before. Yeah, it's the merge event, which we already know and we've talked about before. But this time, the reward is completely different. It's the newest animal. So Chainers have recently launched a new animal. It's the newest addition into Chainer's family, the family of our animals in our farm, and they've decided to name the animal Max Peace. Yes, the animal is named after me. I have no clue why, but it's really kind and very thoughtful of Chainers to have named the animal Max Peace. I guess because they're sharing the love back. And it's really cool of them to have done, such a special thing. Max Peace, not me, the animal. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of mix-ups in this video and moving forward. Who are we talking about? So Max Peace, the animal, it's a peacock. It produces feathers, yeah, peacock feathers, and it's a common animal, so it's the first one of its line. We're gonna introduce later on when they launch them, the uncommon, the rare, the epic, and the legendary peacocks. We're gonna know the details about them when they actually happen, but for now, Max Peace, I think it's one of the most coolest animals in my opinion, because let us take a look. Yeah, it eats every 4 hours and 12 minutes. So first of all, that's a really cool thing because you really don't need to keep feeding, and it gives us some time to relax. So that's the first benefit over here. Second thing is you can already see how much one common peacock feather is. It's 5,812 by, so that's like huge, right? Because if you compare that to the legendary milk, you can already see the difference. And over here, it's 4 hours and 12 minutes to feed. Yeah, one complete, cycle of food for the common peacock, Max Peace. So Max Peace is also special, I think, because it doesn't take much space in our farm. And that's really important because sometimes space for most of us, it can get a little bit crowded. We don't have much space in our land. So I think in that way, it's really efficient. And the most important feature and benefit of Max Peace is its critical hit. It's like a really heavy hitter. The critical chance on Max Peace, and it's a common. Like, guys, put in mind that a common animal, it really has a critical chance, because if you look at the birds and if you look at the cattle and you look at the fuzzy animals, none of the common animals have a critical. Only animals above the common have a chance to produce, double the harvest, right? And for deer and for piggies, we already know their criticals. The deer has a high critical, but the piggies, on the other hand, I think it's 1.67%. I'm saying from my memory, so I might be wrong. You can check the numbers on Chainer's Git book, or you can jump into our Discord and ask. We guys, a lot of the members, a lot of the OGs, farmers, moderators. Shout out to all of them. You guys are amazing. You guys are always helping everyone. I love you all. Ask any one of them. Okay, make sure to ask someone who knows, who's been there for a while. You can check their profile and you can see when they're there. You can ask super chainers. You can ask, to be sure, ask moderators. All of them will give you the 100% absolute correct info. And of course, you can tag me anytime. I'm Max Peace. You can find me on the Discord at any time. Tag me and we'll discuss anything. We'll go through everything together. You guys can show me your farms and we'll go through the whole process. So max peace, the peacock, you know, it hits at 65% critical chance. And the critical chance means it has a 65% chance to give you 20 feathers instead of 1. Because any animal, common, even the plots, the common, it gives you one item, one crop, one fruit, one flower, one item, one milk, one egg per harvest, right? You feed it, you wait for the cycle, and it gives you one. Well, on max peace, it can give you 20 instead of 1, and it has a 65%. So that's like super high. Already just from the common, you can already see how high that is. And that's like really, really, really special for me. So we're going to name the event just between me and you. Between us, we're going to name the event the max peace event. Not for me, but for the animal. And I went right ahead. I finished most of these missions, so we don't take a lot of time. Some of these missions will take some time. So plan, most important, prepare, be well prepared and plan ahead, because if you wish to complete any event in Chainers, always plan ahead and be well prepared. Even so, write everything on a piece of paper like me, old school style, and I have some numbers written. For example, I check and go through the missions. This is one of the tips. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of members ask about these things on Discord, and that's why I decided to make this video. To answer the questions, the common questions was, for example, how many fertilizers do we need? Is using a fertilizer on our merge, does that count as this mission, which you can see in front of me, is called use fertilizer 20 times on the farm. So merging, if the merge uses a fertilizer as an ingredient, that's not actually using a fertilizer on the farm. Using the fertilizer on the farm means using the fertilizer on a plot, on a seed, on a planted seed, right? So it can boost the time, whether it's a common fertilizer or a common fertilizer which removes 50% of the time, by the way, or a legendary fertilizer which automatically removes the whole time and just gives you the plant right away, right? It's on spot. Yeah, the super legendary fertilizer. So there you go. Using a fertilizer means using a fertilizer. You have to use it. It's not the ingredient in the merge itself. Okay. Second most common question is, how do you finish the event if you don't have a max peace? Because one of the requirements, a mission is called here is feed 3 times max peace. And a lot of people have been asking, so how do I finish the event if max peace isn't available in the shop? How can we get max peace? And if you look closely, one of the event, the missions, is purchase 3 items. See, purchase any event offer in the store. So we have to buy any event offer in the store or in the in-game shop. Let's go to be specific, and I'll show you which ones we're talking about. We're talking about these, yeah? These bundles, these event items. And you can already see they have a timer, and that timer, if you check, it's 13 hours 22 minutes. And so if you check that with the event, you're going to see both of them are matching. So these are the items that are needed. If you buy any of these 3, then you have completed the missions. So for example, if you already have all the things in your farm that's needed, to be specific, I'm talking about all the fertilizers needed to finish the missions and to merge the seeds that are required. Yes, I'm going to show you the recipes. Don't worry, we're going to walk through all of these things. If you have the disposable seeds to finish the missions, so what are the best option? It really depends on you. Yeah, spring seeds, spring flower seeds, these guys, the jasmine, the lavender, and the gomphrena. These three seeds right now are the most valuable seeds. They're the highest biopoint producers. They're the highest earners in our farm right now, to be specific, like in terms of seeds, right? Because when you, and I'm not going into numbers right now. If you want to check the numbers, you know where to find them. I told you Gitbook, Discord, check us. Some of our loyal OG chainers have made their own websites. One of them is ℓ𝗏𝗀𝗃. ℓ𝗏𝗃 is the French moderator. He's available always on our Discord. You guys can go tag him. You can find his website on his profile. He has a really, really good website. Of course, all our info is accurate. And the official Gitbook of chainers, yeah, you can find it on our Discord. You can find it here on Chainers app. And you can find it in the beginner's guide, which is also available on Discord. Cool. So a common seed will basically produce, if you continuously plant it in, let's say, a legendary plot, it will produce higher and more biopoints than a legendary limited edition seed. Limited edition seeds are, for example, the Jack Pumpkins, the Pineapple, the White Lily, the Black Lotus, and so on. That's how valuable they are. They are really special. For me, I really love them. And just by getting the common, you're already making a really, really good deal, because you can see like a common pack is for $3 and you get 3 seeds, 111, right? So the least amount to finish the event is basically to buy the lowest, costly here. The cheapest pack is the $3, so 2.99. So basically it's a 3. If you get 3 of them, that's $9. $9 to finish the event. What are we gonna get? Yeah, that's the question. That is the question. So we're gonna get a bunch of many items here just by finishing these. Most of them are random, disposable seed, and a fertilizer. Yeah, you can already see that. Okay, and yeah, you guys can figure out what the reward is just by clicking on the pack. Cool. To purchase any event, focus on these, because we're gonna buy 3 items. We can't finish the event without buying these 3 items. So like I said, the cheapest is the 3 packs for $9. Here for buying the first pack, we're gonna get 5 peacock food. So that's out of the window. You don't need to worry, okay, so what does Max Peace eat? What type of food? Yeah, that's one of the really coolest things. Also, most important benefit of Max Peace is the type of food that Max Peace eats is basically the same ingredients like the cattle and the bird food, the legendary cattle and the legendary bird food. It needs legendary corn and legendary peas, which most of us already have. So that's really cool. If you guys are newcomers, you're gonna target the corn and the peas to reach the legendary. Once you got them, you already have food, legendary food for cattle, for birds. So that covers how many animals? It basically covers all the chickens, all the turkeys, the ostrich, the goats, the cows, the buffaloes. See, that's like a big, like more than half of our farm, plus the max piece, the newest animal. And to get the food, let me show you exactly the recipe so you guys can know. And how much do we get? To finish the event, you don't need, you don't need to merge, but I'm just gonna show you so we know what's up, right? You already can see because you're getting the food just by buying one pack, right? Over here, that's the first, because we still haven't launched, still haven't received. So the uncommon, the rare, the epic, the legendary still don't, like literally they don't exist. The common is over here, and you only need the 10 legendary peas and the 10 legendary corn. These are crops. When you have both of them and you merge them, how much are we getting? We're getting 10 common peacock food. There you go. That's how it's done. And we're merging and claim we got the 10 common. So just feeding a max piece will take 4 hours and 12 minutes, right? Let's go back to the event and let's focus on the other two rewards. So if you look at the purchase, the second item, we are going to get a random spring seed. Cool. And the third one is over here. I already claimed. I had to claim because I don't have a max piece, and there you go. So I'm literally showing you how to complete the event if you don't have a max piece in your farm. To have a max piece in your farm, you just need to buy 3 items, which are already a requirement to finish and complete this event. And by completing this mission, which is the third pack, you're getting the third event offer in the shop, you're gonna get a max piece. So I had to claim it before doing this video. All of the other missions, I didn't claim them, so we can claim them together and I can show you what's happening and we can see what type of rewards we're gonna get. I hope I'm lucky. Either way, I got a max piece, and I got a free max piece basically just by completing this mission. And the third pack, which cost me $3, I got a max piece. I fed max piece not by merging its food, in the workshop. I already have, the legendary corn, but if you don't have them, you can simply complete this mission. You're gonna get 5 peacock food. If you're gonna feed max piece, one of these times can have a chance to drop 20, right? So the least amount of feathers you can get is 5. The most amount of feathers you can get is 100, and that's like a huge amount. And over here you have another mission, which is feed max piece 3 times. You can do it as many times as you want. For example, if you feed max piece first time and you get a hit and you get 20, then if you want to finish the event really quickly, you can feed and stop, delete the food, and then feed again and delete the food. Nothing's gonna happen, right? So it just counts as a one-time, just to speed up. This is a hack, okay? Keep it secret, don't tell anyone. And that way you can hit the mission really quickly, and you just fed him like an actual cycle just once. The other two, you went and did the shortcut cheat, the cheat code. But it's completely legit, and you finished the mission and we're done. So you got the feed 3 times, And that's if you hit the 20. Why am I saying this? Because you need in another mission to sell 3 peacock feathers into any reward pool, right? There, this mission. All the other missions, I don't think that any of them are difficult. Like the merge 25, any disposable seed, you're gonna need 50. Like any 50 disposable seeds, you're merging them, so that's 25 merges. Cool. And to collect 30 any spring seeds, basically I use my legendary plot. I plant a spring seed because we're already getting them, right, from the shop by buying the 3 offers. If I plant 1, I'm getting 16 minimum if I'm using my legendary plot, right? For if I'm using an epic, I'm getting 8. A rare, we're getting 4, and uncommon, we're getting 2, and a common plot, we're getting 1. Okay? This is just the basic info. We've gone over these many times in all the past and previous videos. If you're not sure about any of this info, again, find me. You can ask me on YouTube. You can ask me on Discord. We're going to discuss anything. You can ask any of our moderators. I think that most of these missions are just very simple, straightforward, right? What else do we have here? Yeah, collect 35 of any rare or higher rarity disposable seeds product. So if you got a rare seed, a rare disposable seed, yeah, and you plant them, you can collect 35. In my calculations, if I'm planting 1 time in a legendary seed and I get a hit because I have a rare ● yeah, the highest ● right now is a rare. And if I get the critical hit and I get the boost, I'm getting 43 crops. I'm getting 43 flowers, right? Or for 43 disposable seeds, or 43 fruits or vegetables, right? So if that happens the first time, then you're super lucky and you don't need to plant anymore. But if you really need to and you don't get it, that's okay. You can plant another one. So 16, that's 32, and I'm planting a 3rd one. So basically 3 seeds will get that mission done. That's the max piece. And plant 40 any spring seeds. Yeah, spring seeds are infinite. They're not disposable. So you can plant them over and over and over again, right? The lavender is the shortest one. By planting the lavender, you're going to finish them basically in the fastest time. I think that these are all straightforward. Of course, put 45 any epic or higher rarity of a disposable seed. So if you got epic disposable into any reward pool. Okay, so this mission is not, we're not selling the seeds. We're planting the seeds, and whatever's gonna come from the harvest, we need to sell 45 epic or above. Okay, so if you got the 45 epic, you're done. If you got a few epics and the rest of them are legendary, then also you're done. Sell any of these are specifically disposable seeds. Okay, what are the disposable seeds? We have the marigold, the hyacinth, the bamboo, the tomato. You use any disposable seed basically, as long as it's epic or above. We need to sell 45 of them. I always have extra planted just in case, so I'm always ready. And I never sell disposable seeds. That's my tip. Why? Number 1, I don't need to sell them. I only sell when I have a good reason. So why would I sell disposable seeds if they are planted once and then I can't plant them again, right? It's a one-time plant, one-time seed. But all the other seeds are unlimited, so I can plant them infinity times. I'm using the same seed again and again and again, and I'm getting as many crops as I want. So why would I sell a disposable crop from the disposable seed if I can't get the seed again, right? It doesn't make sense for me. I'm only going to sell them only when I have a really, really good reason. For example, an event, a requirement in an event, because I'm going to need them. I'm always going to need them, and I'm always looking ahead. So I'm never going to sell a disposable crop. I'm always going to keep them, and I'm going to plant a big amount so that I can always use them again and again and again for the future until that amount, is used, and then I can start to go again. So as you can see, I finished all of them except 3. Yeah, you guessed it, the merge, the merge, the merge. I already have uncommon and rare. So I made sure to have 2 rare of each, the gomphrena, the lavender, and the jasmine. Let's go quickly into the farm. Yeah, a lot of details. I had to go through these because I've seen a lot of questions repeated on Discord and on other gaming servers about the event and about our Chainers farm. So I really wanted to address all of these questions in this video. I hope that it's more clear now, and we can go over them at any time. Always ask, ask, ask. And I have this, rule of the more you ask, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the better you will earn. Makes sense, right? So over here, we're going to go into the merge blender to see the recipes, and I like to go to the shortcut. I just like to click on the seeds tab, and if they're not showing, I can click on this one to show available recipes first, but they're already showing, and that's basically gonna eliminate or filter out all the recipes that I don't have, right? So for the epic gomphrena, for the epic jasmine, for the epic lavender, make sure that you have enough. Make sure that you have the ingredients. Write them down. Write down how much legendary fertilizer do you need? How much common fertilizer, which is also called the growth fertilizer? How much CFB do you need? Yeah, some of these recipes require CFB. Make sure you have enough. Make sure you're well organized. Write them down. Do the maths. Make sure you have these numbers covered. Okay? Before taking the decision to buy any packs, and I'm gonna finish this event, so you have to know exactly how much you need from what kind, and you have all these resources. They're covered. You already know that, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. For example, I'm missing a bunch of legendary fertilizer and a bunch of growth fertilizer. So instead, I'm just giving an example. Instead of buying 3 packs of flowers, I can buy 2 packs and 1 of the fertilizer pack, right? This is the fertilizer pack. It's called Fertilizers Activation. You got 50 and 45 plus 50 CFB. Those will cover the merges, I guess. And you can also go over the numbers, and let's do the maths together on Discord if you wish. If you're struggling and finding any kind of difficulty to do the maths and work the numbers by yourself alone, you don't need to be, because you got your Chainers family. Tag any moderator, okay? So the first one, let's go from the same order they already have them. And I wrote the numbers over here down so I know how much do I need from what, and I worked them out. I made sure that I have enough. I only need to merge once, so I only need 2 rare, right? I got 2 rare, I got 13 legendary fertilizer, and I got 20 CFB. Okay, and I'm merging. And as soon as it's merged, you're gonna see a pop-up. Yep, I'm claiming, and the pop-up that we completed the mission. It actually looks really cool, the epic. And we're gonna see the numbers, but let me continue merging. And you see, because I already highlighted the show available recipes, as soon as I've done the first one, because I don't have enough ingredients to do a second one, so it's already filtered out. And that's the cool thing about the new workshop. To merge an epic jasmine, we need 2 rare and 15 growth fertilizer and 15 CFB. Let's go. I muted the sound purposely so you guys can hear me, plus maybe the sound would be too high. Let's see how the sound, yeah, how the sound sounds. Okay, for the epic lavender. That's the recipe, right? We need 2 rare, 29 growth fertilizer, and 35 legendary. Yeah, it looks amazing. I really like how it looks actually. I admire all the art that goes into Chainers. You know, the art and design team in Chainers, you guys are so cool. I love you guys and all the things you do and all the time it takes to design all these cute, really cool items that we have. They're really cool, actually. Let's see how these guys go. Okay. So the Gomfrena is 5:15 and the Jasmine is 7:30 and the Lavender is 9 hours 45 minutes. Okay, cool. That's actually not bad. Yeah. They don't take much time, in my opinion, and they don't take too little time. So you don't need to keep going back and back again and back again. You can just, like these kind of seeds, I like to call them the peace of mind seeds, because you can plant them, they're going to give you a huge load of buy points, plus their peace of mind because they take some time, you know. Okay, cool. Let's, hey, you ready? Okay, cool. Let's plant one of them and see how much time. Let's go for the biggest one. So the 9 hours 45 minutes, if you plant it in a legendary plot using the rare phytolamp. Let's remember the rare phytolamp gives us a time booster, so it reduces time. If I plant it over here, and you saw how I did it, I just clicked the plot, and then I clicked the seed, and then I click back into the plot, just clicking, okay? No click and drag and none of that, you know, stuff that confuses us. That's a simple the update that the team has done. Very thankful for our great game producer. they did a really good job at updating and editing all the things that were causing us a lot of difficulty. I think now it's much better and much easier just by click, click, click. Yeah, just plant to click, plant also to use fertilizer. I'm going to show you how to use the fertilizer. But from the 9 hours and 45 minutes, you already see how much has been knocked off. Because I have a rare phytolamp. I love my rare phytolamps. Honestly, they are a game changer. In terms of how many times they boost, you know, the crops from 16 to 43, that's amazing. Yeah, to 43. So when I harvest, instead of getting a 16, I get a 43. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But when it happens, man, that's like heaven. And when it doesn't happen, you're already getting 100% of the time, you're already getting a time reduction booster. So that always works. Let's head back to the event so that we can finish it. Okay. And now is the drum roll moment, because we're going to open the packs. We're going to collect the rewards, and we're checking the biggest reward, the bonus reward for completing the event. We're going to get another max piece. That's very cool. And I'm going to show you, because I haven't shown you the max piece I got as a reward for buying the third pack. So right now, we're going to get the second max piece. We're getting 5 spring seeds, and we already got one. Or we're going to get it, because I'm going to open the pack with you. Yeah. This pack, the random spring seeds. So that's a 6. Yeah, 6 spring seeds. Plus a common phytolamp. Already showed you how important phytolamps are. Like, these are super important. You have to pair the phytolamps with the plots, and you don't need except one. Yeah, you only need one phytolamp for every 2 plots. A 1 phytolamp covers 2 plots perfectly fine. That's the optimum. Okay, so that's the best. If putting more phytolamps, it doesn't stack. So only use 1 phytolamp per 2 plots. Okay. And 25 of the random fertilizer, because we used a lot of fertilizer to finish these in the merges. So we're getting a bunch back. We're getting the fertilizers we used back basically from the bonus and from each of these. Cool. Let's go ahead and start claiming. Wish me luck, guys. Come on. Show me the money. Let's see. Yeah, we need the disposable seeds. I'm very thankful always for getting disposable seeds. Yay. Because these guys will be used for next events, for future events. I'm saving them, like I told you. For using fertilizers, and I'm going to show you something that's, you know, one of my cheats is over here. We're going back, don't worry. Over here in the weekly, we had no, actually it wasn't in this weekly. I think it was in the past weekly. But we had also in the monthly a use fertilizer 50 times, right? We had it in the past weekly, not this weekly. And we also had it, I think, in one of the dailies, use 5 fertilizers. So when I see them, I wait, for example, in the monthly, because I'm already gonna use in the weekly and in the events. So I don't wanna keep using again and again. If I'm gonna use it in the event, it's gonna count for the daily, for the weekly, for the monthly. The same fertilizer I'm using is gonna count. So why keep wasting and using more and more, you know, multiple times of fertilizer if I can use it once and hit as many missions as I can. Make sense? Yeah. Using the 20 here already counted in the monthly. And that's why I really don't rush. I wait. Cool. A legendary fertilizer and a tomato. Nice. Tomatoes, by the way, one of the highest values as biopoints in the disposable. I know. Over here, we're gonna get the food, the max piece food. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 food. So there you go. If you don't have the legendary corn and the legendary peas, you can feed your max piece the reward you already got. You're already getting also the food for max piece. So very thankful to Chainer's team for thinking. They're very thoughtful. They've thought everything through to make this event easy for us to complete. That's why one of the most important reasons why I love these kind of events. They're very special, yeah, and it's affordable. It's a really good deal. Plus, you can get a bunch of really cool rewards. These rewards, I think, are a game changer. They're gonna really help our farms, our farms production. Hence, it's gonna really boost the harvest and our earnings as well. Especially if you're a newcomer, you really need to think about these things and focus on CFB pool, right? If you are improving your harvest, then you can earn more CFB. Hopefully. Okay, cool. To put 3 feathers in any, we're getting a hyacinth and a legendary fertilizer. Purchase 2. That's the random spring seed. Yeah. Ooh, lavender. Lavender already proved itself. Yeah, it's one of the best ones out of the 3. We're coming to an end so that we can open the bonus. Last 3 is merge and merge and merge, which we just did. Yay, tomatoes. As an Italian, my Italian blood already loves tomatoes because we use it in most of our cooking and our food. And the marriage made in heaven, tomatoes and any herbs actually, not just basil. You don't need to have basilic or any herb goes really, really well with tomatoes. Okay, the big drum roll moment. Come on, give me a drum roll. And the big bonus. Let's go. So excited here to complete the event with you guys. This has been really special. Yay, a max piece. Come on. That's so cool. You know what? I'm gonna take a picture, a screenshot of this moment. Let's see what else we got. A common phytolamp. So cool. Yeah, so we're getting 11 from the legendary fertilizer, and from the common fertilizer, we're getting 14. That's a total of 25. Cool. 1 lavender, 4 jasmine. Nice. And we already got a lavender from the pack we just opened. So now we got the 6 spring seeds, 2 lavender, 4 jasmine, a phytolamp, 25 fertilizers, and a max piece. Woohoo! Let's see how we're gonna place max piece. The last thing before we end our dive here. You guys were amazing, by the way, and thank you for tuning in and listening to me. That's very cool. I want to show you something really quick. We still don't have the legendary lavender, but that's one of the special things of using a phytolamp is it gives you also, that's like the third special magical power. I'm not going to say benefit because it's much more. If I'm planting an epic seed, you're going to get a bunch of legendaries. Yesterday I planted, I got the booster, I got 43 from you know with the one epic seed. 12 of them, yeah, 12 of them were legendary. So like that's so huge, man. Already the epic is the highest, you know, most valuable because it's at the 12,577 bio points. If you compare that, for example, to the bamboo's disposable, yeah, that's 14. Below it is the star anise, it's at 11, so it's lower. And the black lotus is at 10,000. So you already see, and that's, I'm comparing an epic with legendaries. So how much is a legendary? It's at like it's at the highest, most legendariest. That's like the benchmark, man, because that's blowing the roof out of our chainer's farm and 18,720 bio points. I love it. Just having 100 of them is almost 2 million bio points, right? That's so cool, man. Honestly, that's like really, really, really cool. I can put a bunch of these guys over here, just like that, and I'm selling them. Yeah. And max peace was, you can of course load the food over here and just, you know, have the peace in mind for our max peace because our beloved cropper will keep on feeding max peace. And let's go full screen because this moment is really special. So you guys can already see that this guy, we already got, yeah, like I said, buying the third pack. We're getting a max piece, and you already see it. They don't take much space. Like if I compare two plots to the space of a max piece, you can already see, right? Let me show you better. Over here, see that? It takes less space than two plots. That's cool, basically, right? That's really cool. And that's one of the really, really special things about max peace is it doesn't take that much space. I need to remove that plot in order to place the new max piece. I need to do some rearrangement over here. Maybe if, yeah, I think the best place is just by placing max piece in front of max piece. I think that's the best arrangement, right? And I'm gonna give you a demonstration. Okay, so to remove an animal, I'm just gonna do this for now. Long click. You see that arrow? Just keep clicking until this pop-up shows. And that's what I told you at the first time. If you don't want to wait until the full cycle of, feeding an animal is complete, you can just delete and feed again, delete and feed again. So the missions are getting counted. And that's perfectly fine, If you have a mission and you don't want to keep waiting, then you can do that also. So if I delete the food and I click again on the animal, you can see that I can move the animal, right? Or I can completely lift the animal and place a max piece over here. And that's really cool. I especially love, the artwork and the color. You can see the neck. It actually looks like a real peacock, the shine, how they're like really so elegant, and I love the colors. It has like a magical rainbow effect, right? Yeah, I think here's the best place. Maybe if I place two next to each other, right? Yeah, that will be perfect. And I can place the piggy right next to them in these 4 plots. Okay, let's go ahead and place over here. I think that way I'm gonna have even room to place a plot behind. Correct? Let's do a test. There's another way to place a plot, by the way. If you click on your storage and you go to your plots, you can click and drag or drop. Let me refresh the farm really quickly. I'm showing you, how to work around it. If that's a visual bug, you already know now that you can work around that. Okay, from the hammer, click on max piece and let's place over here, like we said. And then let's go to the storage, right, like that, to show you the second way, the second method. And click on anything, basically, see, and just drag and drop. And that's cool, right? Or from here, same thing, drag and drop. There you go. And another max piece right next to it, so that's gonna be the cool thing. I'm not gonna interrupt him, so I'm gonna wait until he finishes, and then I'm gonna place him over here. And to do that, I need to remove the food so Cropper doesn't keep feeding. Yeah, see how fast Cropper is? It's like before I removed the food, Cropper fed the new max piece, and that's really cool. And then I can move these 4 plots back and place the piggy right next to the max pieces. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a really cool thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have been great today, and this is really special. We already can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna interrupt him. Sorry, guy. Sorry, Max Peace. I have to do this. Oh, actually, before placing, let's read. I like to read these things because you can see on each animal there's a description. Oh, I like to read them. Max Peace, part sage. Yeah, like a wizard. Part showstopper. Max Peace carries wisdom in his words. and wonder in his feathers, beautiful and powerful inside and out. Oh, you guys, you're gonna make me cry? No, this is a happy, happy, happy. Come on, like, it's so efficient. Okay, this is the coolest way to feed. I'm gonna do another refresh to show you guys. Okay, and try to focus over here. Like I said, the newest way to plant is click to plant, right? You click on the plot, you click on the seed, and you click back on the plot. Same thing like I showed you on the fertilizer. You click on the plant, which is in the plot, and then and then you select the fertilizer and you click back in that same plot, and it uses it. So that's click to plant. I just made up these words, yeah. And click to fertilize, and this one is click to feed. You click on the animal, you click on the food, and then you click again on the animal. There you go. See, and that's really cool. Woohoo! I love it. And let's go again over here. Yep, perfect. Actually, let's do a lavender, just to make it my farm smell beautiful. Thank you guys so much again and again and again. Yeah, I can't do this without you guys. Don't forget, you guys are part of Chainer's family. Okay, if you guys need anything, just go into our Discord, tag me, tag anyone. Don't do these things alone. Yeah, always ask. If you're unsure, ask. If you are sure, also ask. Maybe someone can like have discovered this new hack, and that's the best thing of being in our family, in our Chainers community, is we all share, you know, the secret tips, the hacks, all these shortcuts that we find out and discover, and it's really cool, you know. It's all about sharing the love. Thank you for tuning in. My ●𝗏𝗀𝗃 seeds are dancing because they're happy. Click, 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 click. I'm Max Peace, and I'm out.